this is Dana, and on this channel I speak about spiritual warfare, self-healing, and bondage breaking from a Gnostic spirituality perspective. In the current video, I received guidance from God and Jesus to talk about the claim for justice, but not the usual one that I refer to when you claim justice for yourself, but when you claim justice for somebody else. Yeah, you can do this. You can claim justice for a dear one, somebody whom you want to help, and obviously if you are the one claiming justice for them, it means they don't do the spiritual fighting from divine perspective. They don't follow their divine purpose and path, and they do not claim justice for themselves, because if they would claim justice for themselves, then you wouldn't need to do this. What happens when you do this, and in what circumstances you should do this? When you claim justice for somebody, bondage is created on them by others or by themselves through bad decision making, poor decision making. God has shown to me repeatedly individuals who have been tricked into doing wrong practices about which they didn't know the whole truth. They only knew half of the information, or they were in different cults, organizations, which taught them to do certain practices without explaining to them the consequences, and they didn't have enough discernment in order to ask the right questions, because normally they would have divine guidance if they would ask the questions, but they didn't have critical thinking. They were very eager to be part of those groups and to fit in, so they didn't question things. They literally just followed whatever others were telling them. So when this happens, if you feel like you want to do this, you can claim justice for them. Because again, I say what I have been saying repeatedly, namely that you do not rescue them, but you can help them. And by helping them, usually the people that you get to help are particularly those who are in a common bondage with you, or they attack you, and this is a bondage between the two of you, because from divine perspective you were supposed to be working together, but there was a bondage created on you, so you fight each other instead of working together. Yeah, and this can be a relative, this can be a lover, this can be a friend, this can be anyone. Yeah, and you might have the divine purpose to work together and do spiritual fighting or whatever, and a bondage was created on both of you, or a bondage was created on him to attack you. So by you retaliating, then you both get into fighting each other, but actually your purpose was to work together. Yeah. So in this circumstance, for example, if God, it happened to me where God revealed this to me, that this and this person are supposed to be working with you, but they were programmed to attack you through bondages, and unfortunately they did not have a discernment, and they signed and they entered into a whole organization of which, even when they learn the truth, they don't have the courage to get out. They start doing shitty stuff. They get then blackmailed and so on and so forth. Yeah, they get more programming through sorcery, necromancy, and so on. So for these reasons and many other reasons, there are many individuals who don't fight. Now, in certain circumstances, you might feel drawn to help people like this, But in other circumstances, you might even be guided to help them. Yeah, literally, because that is a bondage on both of you. And the divine realm shows you that if you help him or her, then that means that you help the both of you. Yeah, because obviously it would be easier for you to break the bondage if he would stand up and fight the bondage himself as well, right? But in any case, there are certain circumstances, not in every situation, but there are certain circumstances in which you might feel drawn and or guided to claim justice for certain individuals. Yeah. Well, what happens when you claim justice for them? First of all, the bondage or the bondages will be exposed. Yeah. So even if the other individual doesn't do spiritual fighting, yeah, there will be a very brief moment in which, immediately after you claim justice for them, in which they will be they will have revelations of the bondage existent on them, and this is tremendous value. This is huge help you give, because normally an individual has to do a lot of spiritual fighting in order to find out this kind of information. Yeah. Okay. Now remember that if you do this, this is considered good deed on your side, claiming justice for somebody else and helping them realize what kind of bondage they have, and trying to help them to get to fight. So for you, it's considered a good deed. Everything that you do to help another, yeah. So you will be rewarded as well, and he gets to see the bondage. So up to a point, everything it's good, yeah. But then, everything becomes more complicated, because as you succeed to do this and the bondage is being exposed, the entity which is casted upon them for this bondage creation gets outraged and actually seeks to kill you, literally, because that, for an entity, especially if it fed for a very long time on that individual, it's that if that individual starts fighting, the entity will be casted back, will be rolled back, and will go back into darkness, yeah, into 4D, and that is painful to them as well, and it's obviously not something even a dark spirit would be willing or eager to experience. Yeah, so it can become very dangerous. Now the entity can work directly onto you to attack you and to kill you, or it can work through third party, or it can work through the individual himself. Now, if you do this, if you claim justice for them, the individual will see the bondage, will see the entity, but if he doesn't start fighting for himself, then the entity will be able to use him, the body, the mind, and the spirit, which means that the entity will attack you through him. That's obviously a betrayal, and it's painful to you, because you have done a good deed to help him, and then he turns to you to kill you, instead of being grateful and doing redemption towards you. That's not a pleasant experience. So the individual for whom you claimed justice, will turn against you and will be used by the spirits which possess him or claim him, because they refuse to do the spiritual fighting. Yeah. And the entity is eager to make sure that it preserves the status quo because it gets to feed on the individual, but also through the individual on other people. So for the entity, this is the perfect solution, yeah. Now, if or when you claim them, you must understand that there are more advantages for them, because you don't claim them. Oh, how to put this? You don't you do not claim them like this individual or convents do. You don't claim them for yourself. Through the claim for justice, literally what you do is you claim them in the name of the lineage. What does it mean? It means that it means like you make a statement by claiming justice for them. You make a statement: he belongs to our lineage. Therefore, because you do this, only because you do this, literally the entire lineage from the divine realm and those from 3D can come to help him or her, of course. So only because you make a claim for justice, only for this, it's really miraculous. I mean, in order to do this, you must reach a certain point in your elevation. That's for sure. But I do recommend to everyone to do this, because it is a spectacular experience to see how the divine realm and the universe works. It's miraculous experience. All your ancestors and the ancestors from the lineage will be able to come to help him. Will be able to come to give guidance and knowledge to him. The ancestors from the Galactic Council will be able to fight for him and to help him. Again, that is miraculous experience, because you will be able to witness all this. You will be able to witness this because you created this. Through the claim for justice for that person. Yeah. Now, I must warn you at the same time, and I wrote a prophetic writing on this topic last year, in which I explained that there is a situation, and I encountered that as well, in which you will claim justice for somebody to help them, because I was in the situation in which somebody was attacking me to kill me, literally. And I asked God, why? I never spoke to this man in my life. Why is he doing this? What he has against me? God showed me that he's being possessed by a specific spirit because he has done wrong practices and what I explained before, yeah? And that he was tricked into this, yeah? That he signed an agreement without investigating, and so I said, I claim justice for him, yeah? And then obviously he got claimed by the lineage, by his race, and the ancestors from the Galactic Council came and helped him, and he got back the status, the royal status that he had, which was concealed from him. He was under bondage. Certain people stole his royal rights, and he was under bondage. A convent, a gypsy convent, made claim on him and put a bondage on him of being a wizard. So he was casting darkness, thinking that this is his job, while in fact he was royalty, and all these individuals in the convent were his servants who ganged up against him and created all this on him, you know. So there are numerous beneficial consequences for that individual, including with material gain in 3D. specifically if you are active in some sort of spiritual organization, yeah, or endeavor or something, yeah. So this is important. This is very important, but it has to be done at a certain time towards only certain individuals, yeah, because um, again, I warned everyone that there are a lot of consequences. Most often, the individual for whom you claim justice will not start fighting, and because of this, very soon he will be uh, programmed to attack you even more, and the entity will be outraged and furious at you, so the attacks will be very strong, yeah. Now what you need to understand is that the individuals for whom you can claim justice are those which are associated with you in a way or another, and when you incarnated, you agreed to sort of like soul contracts, namely that you agreed that in 3D we will meet and we will break this bondage together, yeah. So among the people that you know, there are individuals with whom you made disagreements. Some of them you already met, and you had different type of encounters pending on usually the convents and all these organizations make bondages on the individuals who are sent into 3D by the divine realm in order to meet and do work, spiritual work together. They make bondage to split them and to turn them one against the other, yeah. So sometimes even those individuals with whom you didn't have a good relation are supposed to be working with you or protecting you or whatever, but you had an agreement with them to meet before you came here. Because you have an agreement to meet and to do certain spiritual work while you're here, um, the relationship between you and that individual will be sort of I don't know how to say, uh, will be maintained by this contract, so you won't be able to break it when you want to, but you will be able to break it with the divine realm help at the moment when you have done all your spiritual work and you have helped him or her for long enough to prove or to solve certain situations, yeah. And then the divine, if that individual still refuses to do redemption and to fight, then the divine realm themselves will decide to cut that contract and to cut those commitments, because literally is redundant. He doesn't want to change, and you have different paths and you have different things to achieve. You cannot stay stuck in a situation like this. But there is a specific time in each relation in which you can claim justice for the other one, yeah. And you should ask divine guidance when would be good to do it and when not. And even if would be good for you to claim an individual, again, not for yourself, but on behalf of your lineage or on behalf of your race, yeah. So you do, even if you are supposed to do that to help him in this way, it matters to make sure that you do it at the right time, because I say again, certain portals are going to be open towards you from him. Certain entities will come after you, and it's important to get divine guidance to make sure that you are at the right time when you are able to defend yourself and to gain authority, so you can actually make this a win situation for you, yeah. So I guess this information can be added to the video in which I spoke about how you can help others. You can do this. I do this very often for my adoptive father, for example, because he refuses to fight, and there are a lot of bondages created by the institution where he worked on him, and a lot of claims. And there I do this very often for Lucky, of course, and there are other individuals for whom I made this claim for justice, specifically because they were attacking me for no reason. They were being manipulated, and I just literally wanted them to see, look, you are being used to attack me. Wake up. Just wake up. Yeah. Okay. I think I said enough about this. It's 20 minutes, so I just want to end this video early. Again, you claim justice for individuals with whom you have certain agreements upon which you both incarnated, but that doesn't keep you stuck all your life. At some point you break free from that, particularly if they refuse to do the spiritual fighting and the redemption necessary for them to clear all that darkness. Yeah. But I would recommend, though, for you to do this, because it's an experience for you to understand how the universe works and how the Galactic Council intervenes and all that. It's very interesting to see, and because this is the way in which you can get divine grace for good deeds, and because this is the way in which you can rush a little bit the process of breaking a bondage with somebody, like, you know, if they don't see anything, they will continuously just do attacks. But if you claim justice, then they might get help, as I said, from other places, from Galactic Council, from their race, from their ancestors, from the divine realm, from so and so and so, right? And automatically you help that individual to jump in a different timeline when he was a royal, for example, or whatever he was that made these individuals seek to program him and to put him under bondage. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stop here. Please let me know if you are interested in more details. I can talk about this a little bit longer. Yeah.